Hey, it's the pre-show.
This is the part where we talk about random stuff, and you
Random
never know
stuff.
what it is.
I actually won a prize
You
from
won
a.
something?
I won something from a comic dude on TikTok.
Really?
Uh, World at War Comics. They're on TikTok and they're also on Instagram. So if you happen to be lurking or just watching this and you hear that, go give him a follow at least on Instagram if you don't do TikTok. If you do TikTok, give him a follow on both. Worst case scenario, you see lots of cool books he's buying, and he buys just about every McFarlane figure. So and he opens them all up. So I cringe a little bit, you know. But
Some of the new ones that have come out have been really good, and look nice.
this is the prize I got.
Oh, the Boba Fett one.
It's a bobblehead too.
Oh my God! I've got to
Uh,
put the
this is
Braven
like the
Bolton.
famous cover thing. But then I looked
Yes.
at it and I go, it's not even a comic. It's just a piece of
No.
cardboard with the
It's,
with the crap printed on it. I go, what a rip.
yeah, it's not even a reprint of the comic.
It's
I
like you
thought
could
it
have.
was at first. I was like,
I mean,
nope.
because I would have opened it up and read the book.
Yeah, I
I
haven't read
mean,
that one either.
granted, I've got all the. I think I've got just about every single Dark Horse. When Dark Horse had the Star Wars thing, they
Yeah.
reprinted all the Marvel comics in volumes,
Oh, that's right. They did,
and I
didn't they?
and they did the same thing with Conan. I got like the first 5 or 6 volumes of Conan.
Yeah. Now, you know what's funny about that? I was looking earlier today talking about Conan, because Ablaze, I think it's Ablaze, is part of Titan Books,
Yeah, Ablaze is the one that was doing
the
the
Cimmerian,
Sumerian.
the Cimmerian, or
Yeah,
yeah,
we can't
the
call him Conan. We will just call him
well,
the Sumerian.
he's called Conan inside the book, but on the cover it's the Cimmerian.
Yeah.
I liked the ones I read. I've got a few more to read. But I think didn't Titan buy the rights to Conan?
Not that I've heard, because they
Ma-
might Marvel might have just dusted it off because they were like all gung ho on their Conan stuff, and then within the year of starting it, they canceled it.
yeah, I mean, and
I think it was when they got the license back, they had to do something with it quick to retain ownership of the license, and then they could like sell off. They could like sell off the rights, like they still own it, but kind of like the Spider-Man Sony thing.
yeah,
Like they still technically own it. They have ownership of it, but they basically like do like a lease agreement out to Titan.
yeah. Well, I'm not sure. Yeah, but Titan does have it.
Yeah, they have
Uh,
they have like the rights to do stuff.
yeah, launching in comic shops in digital July 23rd. Brand new Conan the Barbarian art will be written by acclaimed longtime Conan comic book scribe Jim Zub,
Oh, nice.
and will feature stunning art of Roberto De La Torre. Oh, hell yeah! Now we're starting to talk. And colorist Jose Villaruba. He did Prometheus, Sweet Tooth, Cuba, My Revolution is kick off a brand new exhilarating series from. The only thing I hope they do is, you know, every now and then back in the day, Marvel would essentially do like a digital adaptation of the classic stories.
Hmm.
But then in between, they were, new adventures of Conan that you never freaking knew. They made new characters up and everything.
Like
And
the cartoon
yeah, and then
that
last
you can watch for
only
free on Tubi.
that only they didn't, didn't suck. But I hope that's what they do. I wouldn't mind to see some of the stories again. But I've read the Tower of the Elephant. I've read Iron Shadows of the Moon Knight. I've read or Iron Shadows in the Moon. I've read pretty much all of that. I just want give me some new stories.
Hmm.
Just keep them in that same vein. I mean, you got the damn formula there. And, and if you want to do, because I think Dark Horse, when they started the series, when they had it years ago, they did the same kind of thing. They were going to do, they'd do one story because, oh my God, who was it? He's a famous fantasy writer himself. He took and wrote a bunch of pastiches of other stories and mixed them in, and they kind of put like a chronological order starting from the first Conan story, which I think he said was Frost Giant's daughter, all the way to Hour of the Dragon and the King. What in the hell?
There's like a little moth floating around here.
A moth?
Yeah.
What? Like the superhero?
No,
Uh,
like the bug.
like the bug? Oh, okay. But they filled in between where hey, this happens between this story and this story. Even that would be cool. Just
Hmm.
something, just some new stuff. I just don't want to see the same crap done over and over and over and over.
Well, as soon as they can get it back from the printer, the the magazine that I told you about that friend of mine came up with, and I basically know everybody working on the book,
Yeah.
from the indie scene. Um, and it's basic. It's he did a book called I think Doomslayer, and it's in that same genre like sword and sorcery.
Yeah.
You know, from his love of the old Conan Savage Sword magazines and all, which I've got an issue 2 coming in.
Yeah. Issue 2 SOC.
Yeah,
Yep. That's the one with Neil Adams cover on
uh,
it.
it's it's got a little thing on the cover, but I'm like, I don't care. It's like it was in a 50% off sale. I got it for $2.
Yeah. Mine's pretty jacked up. On my number 2 is.
And then I
So
then I bought like a whole bunch of like comic magazines,
yeah.
like like alter ego kind of things.
Oh, now Alter Ego's good.
I love alter ego.
Yeah, and Comics Journal, Alter Ego.
Yeah. Um,
I got the
I've got an alter ego that I paid like $20 for it off the newsstand because it's like a double sized issue. Uh, but it concentrated on all the swamp creatures. So
really,
there so there's like a huge thing in there because it was prior to when the Swamp Thing TV show was going to come out.
huh?
Um,
So they hit Man Thing, Swamp Thing.
Man
What's
Thing, Swamp
Swamp?
Thing,
Was it the Glob?
yeah, like they did everything. There was like like lots of interviews and stuff for with the creators from back in the day and everything. And it's like it's a beautiful looking book, but
Expensive as crap.
yeah, it's they're like $20,
Yeah. Well,
and I'm like,
the doubles probably are. I think the regular ones are like 12 or 13. They're still expensive. It's
yeah,
like buying Judge Dredd magazine. Good God.
oh, I know. It's like, but I mean, you get a lot of bang for your buck because
Oh,
it's like 120, 200 pages.
yeah. I bought the last one I think I bought that was Alter Ego was they had one a month or two ago that was well, I bought the dinosaur one. That was the Cadillacs
Mark
of
Schultz.
Dinosaurs. Yeah, the Mark Schultz. And the other one I bought was I think it celebrated Kirby's birthday or would have been his 100th birthday or
Mm,
100th anniversary, something, but it was an all Kirby issue. So my kid, while the guys are going, this kind of guy at work I've been talking to, and he's a younger guy. He's been reading, just started reading comics. So he's found out I read comics, and I was like, I'm kind of lending him some stuff that's nothing too terrible expensive trades, trying to branch his horizon because all he's read is like a handful of books, and
hmm
he's in that fledgling stage of trying to figure out what he likes and what he doesn't. So I lent him this, one of my favorite issues to ever read. It's funny as crap. I gave it to my kid to read a while ago, and she's like, "Okay, Dad, I'll read it later." And she's already given it back to me, which means she probably won't read it. We probably
hmm
ought to read it one day just because it's funny as crap. Um, but it's a DC Comics presents like 32. I think it's 32. Yeah, 32. Superman and Wonder Woman in love. Art art by Jose Garcia Lopez. But this is the issue. This is the issue where Wonder Woman finally has enough of Lois's crap and picks her up and throws her at a car.
Okay, I gotta buy that issue.
Dude, she's like, "Get away from my man, you man stealing hussy," or something, and throws her ass across. It's funny. Um, and then me and another buddy this weekend, actually, we went out of town. There's a we don't have a half price books here, but there's a place in out of town that does you trade in books, and then you can use the trade in, and they give you half off whatever you buy, and you just pay the difference, right?
Cool.
So I found, because I've never read it, I paid $8 for it. Preacher, Volume 1, hardback.
Nice.
This is the big deluxe edition, so it's oversized. And what's cool is if I do want to bring it back and I leave their sticker on it, no matter if because they give you credit, and they usually give you a pretty good bit of credit. But if you leave their sticker on the back, they give you half of whatever you paid for this book straight back in credit. So essentially, I will have rented.
It's a rental.
This book would have been it would be rental if I return it. Yes. And then I found this one, which I did not know this stupid thing existed. And
oh, look, you're on the cover.
That's me. And this one was $9, but it is every Peanuts daily strip from 1950 to 1960.
Oh, nice. A whole decade of old Peanuts. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It's like, dude, I was like, what in the world? Yeah, it's 500 pages.
What did that one cost you?
$9.
$9. Yeah, that's a keeper.
Yeah. I mean, I love Peanuts. Because it started in 50. I didn't realize it started in 50. So it's the first 10 years of daily strips. And I did see these online. Sometimes when you're looking online and you see an auction of like comics, like, hey, I want to read that or whatever, it's okay to just throw a random bid up there. So I threw $14 down, and apparently nobody wanted to bid against me. So I got Animal Man New 52, 1 through 24.
Does that include the Swamp Thing crossover issues?
Yes. I am missing. There's one issue missing out of it, 20, which I may actually have because I have some of the Swamp Thing crossover issues. I don't know if you have those, but
yeah, I have them, but I'm not really keeping them because I'm keeping my Swamp Things for now because I don't think there's that many issues missing out of the New 52 ones. But I can just buy the entire hardcover for like $30 or $40 off somebody.
Yeah, you can. I mean, and it's Lemire, and I like the hardcovers, but I don't know, dude. Something about reading a single comic still kind of just really appeals to me. I did find I found some other stuff, but I mean it's over there. I didn't bring it to show while we were randomly talking. Couple wild. There's one place I went that I'd heard they had comics, and I went, and literally it's one of those old school guys that I buy a bunch of comic books, and I kind of try and figure out what they're worth and put prices on them, and everything else is a flat price, and you just dig through and get them. And he's got more comics than most comic shops. I'm like, holy crap! They're just piled everywhere. Yeah, so I mean, I did find some Wonder Woman Brian Boland covers I bought for really cheap, which they're always worth money, and a couple 100-page giants, the old school ones.
So my girl was going like gangbusters, like that Daredevil sale post that I sent you.
Yeah.
that was my stuff, but she listed it because I'm always like shadow banned or something because you know talking
Yeah.
smack. Uh, but she's been going like gangbusters through, and she downloaded Key Collect. I got to download Key Collector on her phone, and she was going through, and she was like finding stuff,
Yeah.
and apparently the run of Daredevil when he went to California.
In the 70s,
No, no, uh,
the new
more
run.
a more recent run, not the newest one,
Yeah,
but like
yeah, but
a
like the
volume.
Mark Wade, like 10 years ago.
Yeah, so like a volume or two back, um, when he had to get out of New York, and so he took off and went to L.A. or something.
Yeah, it goes to San Francisco.
Yeah, he goes to San. Um,
Look, I've been reading Daredevil for a long time.
yeah. So apparently, issue 20, it's got him trying to fight his way out of like a T Rex skull or something on the cover,
Okay.
and that apparently is actually the first appearance of Superior Spider-Man.
Really? Daredevil 20?
I think it's 20. There's a cameo like in one panel of Superior Spider-Man, and it came out before the first issue.
Is it worth anything?
Yeah, it's like a $20 issue.
Oh, 21. Yeah,
21.
yeah. Really? I didn't know that. Huh. Yeah, here's the review of it. Yeah, here's an old review of it. God, dude, it was such a damn good. It was such a good series. Oh, this guy gives it 2.5 out of 5. I don't know. Maybe he bumped his damn head. We're gonna go with that because I remember I liked it. I liked the way he's run on Daredevil.
But you
I
found like, a couple issues of Catwoman that were worth like 20, that were, in mint condition, going for like 25 a piece,
Yeah,
just because of
Adam Hughes covers.
the Adams Hughes covers, yeah. And I'm like, and when I would go out of my way to buy an Adam Hughes cover and grab a bunch of them, I go, that's a gorgeous Adam Hughes cover. This thing might hit and be worth money.
Yeah,
It would be worthless. But if I bought it just because I was collecting the run and it just happened to be in there,
it's worth
and
money.
it's worth money, I go, why couldn't it be worth $25 on the ones that I like bought like 10 copies of? Because it looked like one of his most amazing covers, and it's like, no, why not? Well, because Art Germ had 3 covers out this week. Oh, yeah, great. It's funny because I've got a bunch of like early Art Germ covers, and people are like, oh yeah, I'll buy them off you. Okay, he goes, I'll give you cover price. I go, you're going to give me cover price to take it to the guy to get it signed, to put it in a plastic coffin, and then charge somebody $500 for? I don't think so.
Are they? I mean, I know his stuff's really popular, but I don't know. I've only got a handful of them. I did buy. Talking about the Art Germ. I don't think I ever showed you. They did. Is it last month or the month before last? I can't remember when I pre-ordered it. They did. Art Germ did a special like 20th or 30th anniversary Harley Quinn Poison Ivy cover.
Yeah, I heard about it, but I never saw it.
Yeah, it's. I'll send you a picture of it. It's really nice. It looks very similar to like a Bruce Timm classic Harley.
Yeah, he did that on like some Supergirls like early on. He had like some really cool and there was it was like I think it was more the colored foil they used on the cover than it was so much his art. But he did a lot of like really cool like Bruce Timm. He did like a classic Supergirl
Yeah,
cover like in the animated style, and then he did like the Bruce Timm like Supergirl like in the white costume kind of thing.
dude, I love. Oh, I did find that. I got to read it. I can't remember who did the storyline. It was recent, but I was at the Goodwill store. I always go to Goodwill and look at the books and look at odds and ends. Whatever you can find some nice stuff at Goodwill if you just look.
Hmm.
But that's the whole key thing is look. So I've looked at silverware, looked at books, and they had a one of the early. It's one of the newer runs of the Supergirl trade. It was rated really well. First like 10 issues or something. It was like $2.99. So I'm like, $2.99 is less than the price of a brand new book. I'm getting like 10.
Yeah,
And if I like it, I can pick them up. It's Supergirl. Nobody buys Supergirl, even though it's probably it's a classic character. I mean, for God's sakes.
yeah. I mean, I enjoyed the run, but it was just tokenizing Supergirl just to put a female lead in the story. They wiped out the entire Superboy and the Legion storyline, and then popped her in as you know
As the
as
protagonist, or
as the
yeah.
protagonist. Yeah.
Well, I mean, and
Uh,
that's
but there's a cover, and I'm sure it's an Adam Hughes cover. Um, I think like issue 25. There's like a group shot with her in and some of the members of the Legion, and then there's one of her just kind of like nonchalantly uh, sitting down on an asteroid in space.
yeah. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, and that cover is worth hundreds.
Really,
Yeah.
I didn't realize it were that much, but I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, she's like looking out over, out into space, sitting on the
Hmm.
asteroid. It's kind of the sun's like behind her or something.
Yeah, I think it was like a 1 in 25 or something like that.
Oh, crap.
Like
Oh,
when they do those ratios, all I know is my friend's comic shop that I used to go to all the time, and now I can't even get in it because that entire strip mall is not ADA compliant, and the store is so small, and they jam so much stuff in it that there's no possibility for anybody in a wheelchair to get in the store. So
I thought he had moved and
yeah,
went
he
to
did
another.
move. He moved. He's in the same building he was in, but he moved further down to actually a smaller place to make the rent more manageable for him
Oh,
because the landlords have a like a huge there's like a huge Polish community out there,
yeah.
and they do shipping back and forth to Poland, like international shipping, and they own a tax service for individuals and business, and they need more and more room, and they've been trying to get his spot so they could knock the wall through and make their offices bigger and bring more people in or whatever. So now they finally can, and he's down the far end, but there's nowhere for you know
You to get in.
me to get in. So I'm like, well, I can order stuff or whatever, but I'm like, anything that I might be interested in, like grabbing, like now that Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is now going to be adapted to a Supergirl movie in the James Gunn lineup for DC.
Yeah,
I mean, I like to read it. I thought the art looked cool, but I haven't bought anything new in like 2 years. But
I
everything they're doing is like a limited series.
yeah. There's a lot of limited series coming out now. I bought a few issues of that Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. or Girl of Tomorrow, whatever it was.
Mm.
But I didn't buy the whole thing.
But I mean, like anything like that that looks interesting enough for me to buy, I would just buy the hardcover collection.
Yeah.
You know, just like I want that Batman Joker team up book that Silvestri's doing,
Yes.
but I'll just get the hardcover.
Yeah. Well, I probably will too. I mean, because it'll be cheaper, and
Yeah,
I freaking love Silvestri. He's amazing.
yeah. I got to meet him and hang out with him a while ago.
Oh, that's cool.
You know,
Should have let me know. I could send you some X Men so you could get them signed.
oh, this was a long time before I met you. This was back in like 2013.
Oh, damn it!
This is before I was in a coma. Uh,
Break out your time turner, buddy.
yeah, I know. If I could only make a time machine, that was like we're all like Doctor Who fans and be like, okay, if you had the TARDIS for one day, what would you do? Well, I would find some old silver dollars from like the 30s, buy them, and go to a newsstand and buy like a dozen copies of like Detective 27, Action Comics 1,
All that. Yep.
Hal Jordan's first appearance, this one's first, like, okay, I'll take 10 of them. They're 10 cents a piece, right? 12. Okay, well, I'll take 7 of them.
No, they were all tens.
Were they 10s?
They were all 10 cents.
10 for a dollar, come back in time, and, buy Greece, like the entire country, and just move there and build a compound and have like an awesome comic book room.
And eat a lot of feta cheese.
I love feta cheese on my salad. I do. I like feta cheese on my salad.
Yes. Yeah, I had it on the salad a while back. All right, so I sent you this book. It was random. I really was struggling to try and find something. I wanted to do something completely like just off the wall that we haven't done that I like. Yes, My Little Pony. One damn day we'll do
Oh my god! Give me a break.
Or the Smurfs. We'll do the Smurfs. I don't know.
Oh,
Hey, I like the Smurfs. We could do Asterix.
I feel like I'm about to have a vasectomy on camera.
Damn it. So,
I actually had read this. I
had you?
thought you were talking about like the very first Shadow comic ever.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
Not
that's
the first one for DC.
Yeah.
I had read this and I liked it, but of course they were all back issues by the time I found my first comic shop.
Yes.
But I spent like $20 on this back in the 90s. And they had started a new like Shadow run with the artist that hates me there, Howard Chaykin.
Yep.
If you're a fan of mine, you know what I was working on right now.
Yeah. Now I've got most of that run, the Chaykin run. I've got most of the original run by DC. I got like 3 number 1. So if you don't have one, let me know. Maybe we can hook you up.
And not too long ago, it's not a great copy, but they're tough to come by. I got that issue of Batman that has the Shadow in it.
I want one of those. I don't have one. That was right after this.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we love, both of us have talked about it. I love Kaluta. You do. So I'm like, hey, he did the Shadow. I love the freaking Shadow, which was the inspiration. What's funny is the Shadow was the inspiration for so many superheroes, including Batman. And he even kind of says that in that Batman Shadow crossover from, what is it, like Batman 2 something.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing is there's like some knockoffs on there, and I've got them. I got to dig them out, and I'll show them to you. Maybe we'll read one of them one day too. Is another character from the same time period. These pulp characters that really influenced a lot of comics that come afterwards were was the Spider. You remember the Spider, the
Yep.
Master of Men? All right, I don't know if you know this, but Timothy Truman did like 3 or 4 Spider series.
Like
Uh,
graphic novels.
they're like they might as well be. They're like graphic novels. They're thick. They're like square bound.
I will take a picture and send it over to you. I've got one. They were like they were like a close, a doorbuster deal on Jesse James Comics stream one day.
I've been trying to get them. I've got a bunch of different ones, but I can't remember if I finished up the sets because it's like 3 different ones,
Hmm.
and I'm trying to get the sets finished before I sit down and read them. And, I've read a few Spider comics here and there, and I have I think it's called Black Mask Publishing. Um, but they do old periodicals and that kind of stuff. They reprint them
Hmm.
and do detective stuff and all that. And I have some of the Spider novellas were reprinted and in new formats, so new people could read them.
What was
Um,
good a few years back is they did a second series. The first one was much better. But Dynamite did a series called Masks because Dynamite is the king of grabbing public characters that are, you know, free
Not being
domain
used.
to use,
Yeah.
public domain characters. So it was the Spider, the Shadow, uh, of course, Green Hornet and Kato,
Yes, I remember.
uh,
Because
and
didn't Kevin Smith do those?
I think so. But it was Alex Ross covers. I don't remember the interior. I think he might have done some of the interior stuff, but uh, I'd have to go back and look. But that was like really good, and I'm like the premise of it was like cool. Getting all these pulp characters from like the World War II era
Oh,
together.
yeah, they did Black. Was it Black Terror too?
Yeah.
Yeah, Black Terror. I remember all that now. Yeah. I mean, and that's the whole thing is, I mean, so many of these characters were inspirations for our modern superheroes. And I mean, if you can't see Batman in the shadow, then you need to go get your damn eyesight checked.
And if you can't see that Red Hood is the Shadow Reborn,
You need to really go get your eyesight checked.
I'm like,
Yeah. Yes. But dude, it's been a while since I've read it, but I did reread it for today. Um, and it holds up pretty well. It's definitely set in the past. It's set in New York, so it's set in a solid city. I understand it's a DC book, so we know, like I said, it's in the past, it's a solid city. Um, the story is a little, I'll say, dated because of that, but it's definitely not written with the same flair that O'Neill's work at this time was having. But I think that's part because he was trying to write it in
that pulp.
that pulp.
Hey, Ace.
Hey man, what's going on? But yeah, trying to write it in that pulp style, so it doesn't flow as well. Uh, and then, I mean, dude, we can say all we want. I mean, the cover alone is worth the damn price of admission on this book, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's a freaking, what we gonna say, painted, drawn cover. It's some in between version.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. The character is painted,
Yeah,
and everything else is kind of like drawn in.
yeah,
Uh, and the art on the cover is, shall we say, much better than the interior. But the
yeah,
interior is still like really good.
yeah.
But it's a period piece.
Yes.
It's from like the early 30s. So you should have tagged Phil. He loves the Shadow.
Shadow's really damn cool.
Well, I know if we do a Lobo book to tag Phil, but
Oh,
do I even? I have mine open over here. Let me
do
see.
do Lobo Portrait of a Victim.
God. Oh, that would be modern Lobo. He's a
Yeah.
feminist.
No, that's we're talking about the old the old
Oh,
book.
okay.
They
He's a
actually did
feminist. He's
a
a
Lobo
victim.
Portrait of a Victim book. You don't remember that?
I'm old, man.
Yeah, this is back in the I guess late '80s, early '90s, right after he came out. Yeah, Lobo Portrait of a Victim.
Oh, he wasn't the victim. He made the victim.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yes, because the cover's got him like beating the hell out of somebody. Lobo,
Saying,
Shadow, Gambit. Those are his top three.
cool.
It's like all over there. Does he take medicine?
Probably. He's
Probably.
Phil's brother, a comic book creators, the Zaid brothers.
We all take medicine now. But yes, I mean the interior art is. I almost want to say Kaluta because I mean Kaluta has done so much amazing stuff. He's trying to make this look like a '30s book to
Yeah.
me. I mean, he's trying to make it look old school,
Oh, definitely.
and some of it looks that way, some of it doesn't.
Hmm.
So maybe the art's a little off, but I think that's just him, really, really stretching.
Or
Um,
the possibility they told him, uh, you have 9 days to get this book done.
oh yeah, they could have.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they did that crap. Yeah,
We forgot about this. It's going to be on the schedule for next week.
get it done now.
We've got like
But
a
yeah,
100,000 orders going out. Oh, okay.
uh,
Which back in when did this come out? Actually, 80s,
73.
73. Oh, that's
Yes,
another reason why I didn't buy it off the newsstand.
yeah, you were like three.
Exactly.
Yeah, you were like three.
Yeah.
This is and this is October November 73. So if we go October November is actually when it come out, or normally they come out a couple months ahead of time.
They usually come out a month before the actual shelf date. Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna say
The shelf date,
August
like
to
it's a
September.
can of beans or something.
Yeah, I was approximately maybe between 1 and 2 months old when this came out.
Hmm.
So there's no way I bought it off the shelf.
He just loves reminding me that I'm still older than him. It's okay. You got 3 years till you're in a wheelchair. Okay.
I hope not. But
Be buzzing around the front end of your store.
yeah,
Get it out.
like that old lady. What don't you want?
I'll be a Karen.
Damn it. So the shadow. I do love, dude, man, because they do that in comics now, and sometimes it gets on my nerves. The blurbs they do at the top, they
Hmm.
come in, rocketed from his home planet, Superman, finds whatever,
Yeah,
orphan.
it's the character introduction.
Yeah, the character introduction. Um, and they do one here, but you think about it, if you listen to any of the old Shadow radio shows or watch the TV show, they do it all the time.
Yep.
And they did it so much back then. It's a classic thing that we don't, now it seems kind of stupid, but it's just there it is. Yeah. Feared
I've
by all who
actually got like one or two of the records. That's right, vinyl.
shadow vinyls.
Yep. I had a good friend of mine, Jerry, who was a writer and playwright and author. He actually wrote. Remember the old cartoon in the '80s, the Super Seven?
I think so.
It had
Each
like
one of them had different powers.
yeah, it was like there was like Hercules and uh, Samurai and a whole bunch of different characters. And it eventually became Batman in the Super 7 and then Tarzan in the Super 7. They kept changing like the lead show to keep people
Huh.
watching. He actually wrote like a couple of episodes of that, but he had a very eclectic video store back in the day that him and his wife ran.
Huh.
And it was like really cool stuff you wouldn't see anywhere, like the old pulps
I love the Pulse.
and stuff like that. And he was going to a show. I actually got Denise Crosby's autograph uh, from him from a show he went up to do the New York show one year, and I gave him like a couple of $100. I go, well, if you can get anybody's autograph, you know me, I'm a nerd. I go, if you can get anybody's autograph, just put it in there. And if you come across like any like really cool vinyl, like, you know, superhero stuff or, like pulp stuff, you know, just grab me like, something
Whatever.
that something that looks good. I don't care. Cheap and looks good. And keep the change as a finder's fee. And go like spend 75 out of the 100 and you keep the rest, buy yourself a dinner or something.
Yeah. That would be kind of cool. Yeah, I've listened to a couple of them, but I can't remember because it was on like God Almighty. I can't remember. It was on for years, and it would every week.
Mm-hmm. And
But
the Shadow is such an old school character. My mother would have been 90 years old today, and she grew up listening to the Shadow adventures on the radio.
yeah,
Shadow and other characters. It's like, yep. What did you do when you were a kid, Ma? Well, I got stoned and watched the radio.
yeah. Sit down in front of it.
Sit down in front of the radio, open up the oven door because it's cold out, and heat the house with the oven, and listen to the radio.
Well, so a brief, I guess, introduction for anybody who is listening who does not know who the Shadow is. So his real name's Lamont Cranston.
Yep.
He's a billionaire playboy. Damn, that sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm.
He does have some kind of magical powers or something.
Mystical powers.
Mystical powers. When he, becomes the Shadow, and he goes after bad guys, and he has a damn cohort of people that help him. He's got his driver, a couple other people, his little love interest lady,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes out and does crime. But the thing that's cool is, he's got his blazing guns and takes care of business, kind of, like the Punisher now. And if you go back and read some of the old Batmans from the from back in the 40s,
30s. Yep.
late 30s, early 40s, when he first comes out, you'll see that Batman's pretty much shooting all his damn villains too, with his purple gloves of justice.
Yep. Captain America too, in the Captain America serial from Republic Pictures.
He shoot people.
Oh yeah, like he'd go in, with his shield. He'd punch one guy, hit backhand the other guy with a shield, pick up that guy's gun, and then shoot the guy over the couch. Boom, he's dead. The funny thing is, the funniest thing I found about the Captain America serial from Republic Pictures is, of course, everything was a mad scientist, and the mad scientist in that one had created a weapon that could have laid waste to all of New York. So Captain America was trying to defeat this supervillain who was going to destroy New York with his weapon called the vibrator.
Damn it.
And it was an earthquake machine, basically.
Dig. That's the whole thing. Some of
The
these
vibrator destroys New York.
it was a big one. These old school comics though, and the old serials are just so I don't say cheesy now because they seem that way, but I mean it's just so awesome. I mean, it's you like the Fleischer Superman cartoons.
Those are
They're
great no matter what. I don't care.
amazing. But yeah, so we find out, after our little character introduction, here we go. Follow him now as he battles the clock in a desperate race to solve the Doom puzzle. I don't know where the hell they got the name the Doom puzzle for this issue because there's not really any Doom in here. As we go through here, you'll find out this is basically a bank heist.
Mm-hmm.
There's no Doom involved. It's a complicated bank heist. But
It's very texty. There's heavy text box through this entire book.
hey,
Because I was reading it. I sat down and I read it earlier today.
feel it words, words, words.
Like, and I'm looking at the panels and I'm like, the panels look cool. And I'm like, I'm seeing the ha-has and I'm like, I know it's the Shadow, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking Joker and the Creeper. But it's very 70 heavy 70s, book structure with the narration.
Yes. Or not 70s, 60s.
Yeah, well, even the 70s, a lot of the
Yeah.
DC stuff was like, you know, heavy narration. It's like I hated reading when I was a kid, and
I
then I made up my own stories when I went through the books from the pictures I saw, and then I started reading, but I would only read the bubbles. I wouldn't read the
the
narration.
text.
You go, oh, it's going to take me so long. I've got toys to play with.
Damn it. Actually, since you brought it up, yeah, I guess you're such a big fan of the Creeper, it didn't dawn on me, but yeah, it's the same kind of laugh as the Creeper.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just everywhere.
but with a
Uh,
cooler costume because he didn't buy it out of like a five and dime resale shop.
and a damn and an orange rug he can just throw on his back.
Yeah, hey, just throw this up there.
Yeah. So it kind of the story opens on the pier, and you see there's some guys that are they're like were they gambling and or they're turning over some money, uh, and of course you see that give me some money or I ought to give you an eye full of lead, you slob, you stinking money, and deliver. But what? That laugh. So yeah, you can hear the laugh. Only one guy's got a laugh like that, and it can't be him. And of course, I love Face, but it can, and it is the Shadow. I'll trouble you for that scrap of paper. Of course, we don't know what scrap of paper the Shadow wants. And of course, they try. This is where he does his mystical power thing. I like that they never kind of explain. It's like he can like move between the
Yeah,
shadows. If
yeah.
that makes any sense.
He's actually part of the shadows and attached to it. He just got to you know, like a
Yeah,
wraith.
he moves from one to another. So they go to shoot where he's at, but he's already moved completely across the room, and just opens fire and kills a couple of them. Of course, one guy hauls ass, and he's like, "I'm going to get out of here," but the shadow quickly gets to him, and dude grabs him by the damn, the collar, and throws him down and kills him straight up. This is some Batman crap, from back in the day.
I
Kills
don't
him.
know. I don't know if he kills him. I think it's somebody from across. It was no, because it's his mysterious lady friend from across the way. I think.
Maybe. So I know when he grabs him here and he throws him, he tangles his feet, grabs his collar, he feels his, and then he's slammed into darkness. He like throws him over, and then like as the shadow's leaving, the dude's dead down there, and he's got a little scrap of paper in his hand that's sticking up. He just takes the damn paper and leaves. And outside, there's his taxi, and he gets in the taxi, and of course there's his lady friend, and what's his name, Shrevey
Shrevey is his cabbie guy.
is the cabbie guy. um So he tells his lady love there, Marlo or Margot, that he got the message. And of course we read it, and to all concerned, flag and gun alike should arrive on land, water, air. Remember, 10 have died, building freedom's hope across the mighty avenues of America. Whew. And she's like, it's just a slogan, but it's a badly written one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I love how they're like, oh, have you cracked the code? If not, see the page entitled "The Shadow Knows" following this adventure. Um, and of course, the Shadow's like, it's not a code, it's a code, Margot. And it gives us the first part of the puzzle, and then they head back to the Cobalt Club, where they like hang out and stuff. Oh, dude, he's smoking too. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day. So they head back to the Cobalt Club, change into their regular clothes, and then head out to meet everyone.
Yeah, because can't show anybody smoking in comics now,
Yeah.
and Warner Brothers definitely can't have anybody with guns
Yeah.
because they pulled that. Even like Migo, who just did the the end of last year, made the Flashpoint Batman, which is Thomas Wayne, who uses guns, and he's got like those Han Solo, thigh holsters on, and the figure comes and it's got the holsters, no guns.
Really?
So now, yep, Warner Brothers says, they're against guns. Really? Why? Because it's popular now.
Well, I mean, I understand it. You know,
Bunch of pussies.
I mean, kind of, but I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It's fictional. I mean, that's why I still haven't bought the McFarlane gun pack, so I can get the guns for my damn Red Hood figure.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't remember this guy, but it's been a while since I've read any Shadow books. Who calls Lamont here? What's his name? Burbank,
California.
I don't know what his name is. Yeah,
it says it.
Is it contact Harry Vincent? Have him go to the corner of the 10th. Right, yeah, right there. Then Boyer's exclusive club. Cranston dials the number not listed in any directory, and somewhere in the city, a husky voice answers. Burbank. Yeah, that's his name. Burbank.
Yeah. Well, you have to remember through like all the Shadow stories since the beginning of time, because of what he went through in the Orient to get these powers.
Yes.
He built a network.
Yeah, this is a crime fighting network.
Yeah, and the majority of the people in his network don't know who he is. They just know the Shadow.
Okay, I got you.
There's a handful. Like this is his all-star squadron here. His girlfriend, Shrevey, the guy who gets sent out to watch the corner and report back in,
and that's really about it.
And Burbank here.
Yeah, he calls Burbank. But yeah, so he calls him and tells him, hey, have what's the face head out to the corner, and we discover here in a little bit, or maybe it says it on the other page, but to get the answer here to the puzzle, you read every third word, and it tells them go to like 10th and 10th and something. But that's where the Shadow sends them. He sends his buddy right here to see. So he's on the boss said I should, this is the corner. The boss said I should keep an eye on. I wonder why. It's quiet as a sailor in a nunnery. I forgot that.
I don't think it would be that quiet. There's going to be at least one nun.
Yeah, so soon, and it's on 10th and something. Where does he say? But so there he is, and then here comes a police van, and the guy's like, "Oh, it's a police van full of
Yeah, paddy
baddies.
wagon, an old paddy wagon. Yeah.
Yeah, bound for the city jail. So as the paddy wagon, turns the corner there, gunfire snaps at the van and blows a tire out, and of course it crashes. And when it goes to crash, here come the bad guys. They're going to bust all these people out of it. It's a jailbreak, and the Shadow's hired hand here is going to jump in and stop the jailbreak by himself. Lucky for him that they know that he's like not the main guy, because they pistol whip his ass. They don't even waste a bullet on him, and kill the police, and then shoot the damn lock off the paddy wagon and take their men out, and haul ass away. And of course, an hour later, as Cranston keeps going on, he's trying to check out and see what the hell's happened on it. And Shrevey tells him, he says, "Yeah, Harry took the 10th in water, like you told me. He hung around, and then a bunch of blasted arsonists nabbed Harry, or a bunch of blast artists nabbed Harry. So when he hears that, then he knows that something went down. And of course, Shrevey says, hey, I tried to stop them and get there, but I couldn't, and they got away. So Lamont leaves Margot there at the club, and they hop in the taxi, and they head out to try and track them down. And of course, as they get there, eventually, the Shadow knows where they are, and he hears them. They laugh, and of course, he takes them out quickly. I do like the fact here, after he takes them out, Shrevey's like, or not Shrevey, but what's his name again? He just said it.
I don't think that's his name. I don't remember anybody. La 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 la.
Damn it. Yeah, Harry. So Harry says, he says, "Boss, you just given me a lesson in the art of clobbering. You didn't even draw your weapons. For two such as these, it would be like using a regiment to defeat a pair of mice." So they like, damn it, it's just silly. So he says, "Hey, take this other guy to the police. I'm gonna take this guy back to the lab." And then when he gets him there, the Shadow makes him look into his gristle ring and starts to control his mind. She went to the store. She went to Walmart to get something. She'll be right back. Why? Okay. So yeah, so he finally forces him to, speak your thoughts, and the guy, starts spilling the beans. 6 months ago, still plans for a new kind of ship from the headquarters. We find out what's going on, and of course he's like, Margot hears all this that's going on. You didn't get a whole lot from him, but I did. I got an additional piece of our puzzle, because the guy they rescued from the paddy wagon was actually a ship's captain. So the next day, like, Lamont goes and visits, his banker, Osgood Bambler. He said, "Hey, you worried about your investments?" No, they're in good, safe hands with you. And the guy's like, "Hey, I'll let you in on a secret. I've heard some rumors of big incitement on the streets. The word does get out. Well, don't be alarmed." So this main bank, and it's the Second National Bank of New York. Truth is, we're shipping a lot of worn out currency to Washington, money that's used too good, and I'm supervising a transfer myself. And they still do this. The old, money gets tore up, they send it back, the government destroys it, and prints new.
Yeah.
And of course, Lamont's like, "Hey, that's quite a temptation for a thief. Aren't you worried?" "Not at all. The shipment will be in armored cars guarded by a convoy of soldiers. And besides, no one except the boys in Washington and I know the route the shipment will take." So this is where we find out they load up the damn armored cars full of all this money. And old. And of course, I love that Lamont and Shrevey are behind, in the taxi, because that is a great little follow weapon. I mean, it's our follow-up car. It's supposed to be on the road. It's going that way, whatever. It's just common. It's not the damn Batmobile.
Yeah, it's a taxi in New York City. I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
million of them. And the army heads off, and as they head off, the gangsters are at the bridge, and they're gonna freaking blow part of the like part of the bridge up and get the money. And as they're doing that, they see it's an aerogyro, which, dude, I forgot about these damn things. These were old school back in the day.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
like our helicopter and our plane are going to have a love child, and here it is.
exactly. And it works that way. They fly up, they fly down, all
Mm-hmm.
of yeah, some kind of airplane. It's an aerogyro. And he explains how it does, how it works. So as they're going to blow up the
Where do you
damn,
think the whirly bats came from?
yeah, the whirly bats.
Remember the whirly bats?
Yep, from the TV show. Oh my God, I forgot about those. Uh, they open fire, or they're going to try and stop the money as it comes across the bridge, and they open fire on the damn aerogyro. And of course, the shadow, they completely miss his ass. He jumps out, and weak-minded fools. Um, Beats the hell out of a couple of them, and good old Margot, who was in their plane, actually helping him, or the aerogyro, does manage to knock one guy off the bridge to his death,
Yep.
and or she shoots him, excuse me. And the Shadow's like, excellent marksmanship. I could have got him, but she says, I needed the practice. Our work is finished, Shadow. So you needed to practice by killing this guy?
I could have easily disarmed him.
Yeah.
He said literally, he goes, I could have just shot the Thompson out of his hand.
Yes, that's what he says.
I needed the practice in killing men.
Yeah. I think she's trying to send you a signal, Lamont. Yeah. Why? The money shipment's already gone. It's crossing the bridge. So there's the money as it crosses the bridge, and they follow. And then this is where he tells her, recall the puzzle. Margot, a submarine, a sea captain, George Washington Bridge, our criminal mastermind's plan was superb. He would blow the convoy into the water and from his sub collect the loot at his leisure. So he's actually looking for a sub, and he sees a damn periscope come up. And when it does, he has, ready, depth charges, or he calls them depth bombs.
Yeah.
And he just...
And not just one, multiple. Where does he hide these on this little
damn plane
where there's just barely enough room for him and Margot?
Yeah.
On this little whirly bird, and
well, if you look at the picture there, I think they're on the side, but they're on the side here. And if we go back, they're not here. It's like, so did you have them under your seat, buddy? But
they were hit on the inside, and he pulled that lever, and the panel slid up, and they all dropped out from the engine compartment. What about the engine? It's not necessary.
No, it's not necessarily. So he drops 3 depth charges, and of course they fall in there, and now the damn sub is cracked, and it's doing all kind of it's been damn blowed up, so it has to surface so they can fix the pop the hatch, try and fix the damage and everything. And when it does, there's the captain's like, hey, what's going on? We got to repair the damage, or we'll have to swim for it. Any idea why Bedlam broke loose? And the Shadow's like, you call it bedroom. Another might call it blasting powder, and I call it vengeance.
I am the night.
Yep. So he beats the hell out of, the vengeance of the Shadow, beats the hell out of all these guys, and leaves them on the boat in the middle of the river. Gets back on the ladder in the aerogyro and heads off. And here comes, for the police boat. And the police boat's going to pick him up. And he heads off. And Margaret's like, hey, it's a successful day. But the Shadow's like, nope, not yet. We only got the hirings. The head man, still at large. And, of course, she taunts him, you failed. The Shadow never fails. I do like actually looking at it again. How many times did he do this? Let's go back. Hold on. Then I'll run forward. Maybe that's the only time he did it. Yeah. So if that's the only, so far this is the only time I've noticed that. This kind of little Art Deco thing here, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's really old school. So he was, I mean, he was definitely trying to make it look old.
Yeah.
Um,
That Art Deco thing is very Rocketeer.
yes. Oh God, dude, I love the Rocketeer. Um, that's a nice panel at the top. So, finally in the last gloom laden hour before dawn, a frantic man skirmishes from his lavish mansion, his arm already aching from the weight of an overstuffed suitcase.
Yeah. That
And
top panel is like, I'm gonna make the most out of this. I'm gonna
yes,
do an outline of the shadow and use that. The outline
as
of the shadow is going to be the narration box for this page.
yes, I mean, it works. It's beautiful. I mean, some of the panels are really really good. It's staged good, all of that, but the art is. I mean, he's definitely going for that older school look. And of course, this guy's like, he hails a taxi, and he gets into the one damn taxi he shouldn't have because
Yep.
the shadow's driving, and we find out that this is the guy that gets into the damn the taxi is actually the Shadow's banker. And he's, well, how do you know I was doing this? He says, because how do I know? Because you told Lamont that you knew the route and you were the only one. And you knew these things 6 months ago when you had the submarine diagram stolen. You masterminded the robbery I foiled. And of course, this guy's going to like pull out his gun and try and shoot the Shadow. But if I'm reading this right, when he points the gun at the Shadow,
he kills the banker.
Yeah, he turns the gun back onto the banker and has him shoot himself.
Well,
or pulls the trigger.
You just basically taught, let this guy know who you are.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can't let him live.
But this is terrible. He's like, God, it's been a while since I read this, but yeah, it says crime does not pay. The Shadow knows, and the Shadow never fails. And of course, he laughs as he drives off with the dead body and the money. The end.
Well, he could always kick that side door open a little bit, and he's going around a sharp hairpin curve.
Just knock the
He can
body
get
out.
rid of him like off the thing.
Yeah.
Or take him back to headquarters, dump him in a vat of acid or something,
Something. What's that? Random pick, because I was just trying to come up with something that we haven't done. And, I like the Shadow. It's just been a while since I've read any.
Mm-hmm.
I do, like I said, there's another one you mixed up. I know your favorite artist that hates you, did the Shadow series, and there's another one that I found that I'm trying to finish up the setup. I may have most of them. I found them in a dollar box somewhere. But Sienkiewicz did and I know you don't like him either, but Sienkiewicz did a Shadow run.
Sienkiewicz?
Or Sienkiewicz, yeah, for in the 30s.
Yeah.
So, what'd you find?
So, I dug this out of that overstuffed box you sent me, and you're like, anything in here would be good to do on the show.
Oh, something the huge box of comics I sent you a while back.
Yeah, it's sitting right by me right here. So
it was like $40 to ship that damn thing.
I know. I was like, damn. It would have been cheaper just to drive it here. Well, 2 years ago, it would have been cheaper to drive it here.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Not now.
Oh, so you're pulling something from the box out. to read. So I have to think what I can't remember what I put in there. It was random stuff.
Yep.
Some of it was.
So this one is 25th anniversary of the X-Men. Lights, Camera, and Murder.
Oh, that's 185. Oh no, 204.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
I think 185 is the Forge story. Hey, Phil. You'll have to go back and watch it. We just covered The Shadow Volume 1 from DC.
Yeah. The 185, one of those issues, I think it's 185. It's around that same time is the one that has the Twin Towers falling in it.
Yeah, it's the Barry Smith issue. I think it's 185. This is written by Claremont. Guest penciler is Brigham. Will Spataccio is the inker. Glennis Oliver is the colorist. Tom Ostrensky is the letterer. Ann Nocenti was editor at this time. And Jim Shooter was editor-in-chief. Ah, the golden years of Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
And who can go wrong when you pick a book that's got an ad for ElfQuest and Gru?
I saw some ElfQuest a while back. Oh, and Mask.
And Mask toys. Those things are worth a crap load.
My buddy loves Mask. He's got most of them.
Oh, that's right. Wrong Zaid. Hey, what's up, man? Oh, great.
Damn it. Tony the Tiger?
Sure, why not?
So what was that, 204?
204. We got an ad for Power Pack and The Amazing Spider-Man.
I've been picking up Power Pack comics and when I see them in dollar boxes too. Some of the art on those early Power Packs is amazing.
Yeah, the stories are pretty good too. So yeah, this is like, you know, a Nightcrawler centric story, but it's got that evil game guy.
Oh, the not Ringmaster, the guy that wears the funny suit, the Barker.
Yeah. Can't remember his damn name.
I can't either right now.
Arcade.
And then there's your. Yep, that's him.
His white suit and speckled black tie.
And then of course there's your. I thought I saw a was it a Mile High Comics freaking ad in there.
Yep.
Back when they were in there, you could buy them for whatever damn price. Mm-hmm. When Hulk 181 was like $10.
Killing me.
Yes, I think about it now. I'm like, because I was like, man, that $10 is so much.
Become your favorite Marvel character. Marvel Adventure.
Dude, that was a good game.
Yeah.
It had some issues though, because I remember one time I played and I played the Hulk, and it was one of those things. The longer the fight gets on, the stronger the Hulk gets, which that's how it is in the comic books. Mm-hmm. And oh my God, we were fighting Galactus, and I hit Galactus on the ankle, and I did like 1 million points of damage, and he died. Oh my God! This is what happened.
Was that the old That was the old Marvel role playing game, right?
Yes.
I started playing, and I had taken Vision, and every role I had was, you know, an epic fail. But I remember he goes, I don't think I want to play this anymore. I just read an article where, and this is back in the day before we had internet. He goes, I just read an article that Aunt May can actually move the Earth out of its orbit with the right roll. I'm like, who the hell would play Aunt May? Goes, you just play her and you're like in the background. Nobody's going to suspect a little old lady. What, I'm moving the Earth out of its orbit? To what, hide it from Galactus? What the hell?
Yeah. But, cool, man. I'll get that over to you, and then we'll read. Well, I don't need. You don't need to get it over. You got a copy right there.
I got me a hard copy.
So
Physical media.
Physical media.
Physical media.
I know I've got a couple copies of that somewhere. I'll have to sit down and read it. But we'll do that and then be back next week, I guess.
Sounds like a plan, Stan.
All right, man. I'm gonna go to bed. I gotta get up 3 o'clock in the morning to go to work. That
Yay!
sucks. Oh my god.